My name's Greg Esparza. I've lived in Austin for 8 years since I started coming to school here in 2002. So went to UT, went to architecture school, and have been here ever since. I've seen a lot change. I mean, since I've been here, in the last decade was when a lot of the condos, both smaller and then also 20 stories plus, that kind of boom happened downtown and then in East Austin. And then in East Austin, this neighborhood has shifted a whole lot as well with a kind of influx of a sort of younger community, and so East Austin being the traditionally African American, Hispanic parts of the community for many years, and suddenly a new community has kind of come to that part of town, and as a result, East Austin has been one of the most dynamic parts of the city for the last for the last 8 years since I've been here. It's just, I mean, where we are right now at the Hope Farmers Market, a lot of the new businesses that have sprouted up just even on East 6th Street weren't here 5 years ago, and now a ton of people come down here to do stuff. It's a very lively entertainment district here, so that's something that's changed dramatically over the last 5 years, and is something that is kind of new uses sprouting up in areas of the community that have been existing for years and years. So that's kind of interesting from the preservation angle, how existing streets and existing buildings have come to hold new uses and have become homes for newer emerging communities and neighborhoods in Austin. I think in general there's a lot of value to preserving buildings or streets or public spaces in the city for a sense of continuity. I think it's especially important when it comes to Austin, because one of the most kind of valuable resources, you can think of it, in the city is that Austin has a very strong has a population that really loves to live in Austin. It's like you don't really talk to people who live here and say like, oh, Austin, yeah, whatever, like it's a place to live. Most people who live in Austin really love living here, and a big part of that is the history and the places that we have here that have become so intertwined with either a place that I really lived to go where I was a kid, or obviously the live music culture here is something that is a big part of that. And there's been numerous different venues and places that are the kind of fabric of that live music culture that are still here or have changed or have. So I think the preservation of places is really important as a way to keep the continuity of Austin's culture. And then the other thing is that as a city that has grown, that is still relatively medium-sized with about 800,000 people or so, the neighborhoods in Austin are something that people really love. Like when people come here, it's like from larger cities, say in the country, people really love like having your house with the front porch and the yard in one of the neighborhoods here that has been here for a while and has a lot of character. So I think one of the big questions as Austin grows is how do you preserve existing neighborhoods, preserve that existing character that has created a really strong affinity for a lot of residents in Austin who really love the city, while accommodating the 750,000 people is a number that a lot of people are talking about now in the next 30 years. So if we're going to have close to 800,000 people coming in the next 30 years, how do you preserve that, that fabric of single-family neighborhoods and still accommodate more growth within that, but not build a whole new urban fabric that loses that character that makes Austin a unique place, and that also makes people love to live here. I think what it really means is keep Austin unique and keep Austin particular. I think it's rooted really deeply in this sense, and especially with the kind of history of Austin as this university town in the middle of Texas, and being a little bit distinct from a lot of other places in Texas, that it continues to be a city that really celebrates artistic, celebrates artists, celebrates musicians, and celebrates a kind of unique sense of place and also a unique lifestyle for people who live here. If I could describe Austin in one word, it would probably be, I think, outside. Really, I think it's not like probably outside, but being outside is a really important part of being here. Whether that be eating outside or hanging out outside with friends, or utilizing this really amazing infrastructure of urban parks that Austin has with Town Lake and the Greenbelt, and I think that's something that or and Barton Springs, obviously. Being outside is something is really easy to do here and really pleasant almost the entire year round. So I think that has being outside, being active, is a big part of what makes Austin Austin. So, yeah, I would consider myself a preservationist because I do believe that preserving places in the city and preserving buildings is a really important and tangible way to have people understand how cities change over time and what the place they live is and how it came to be that way, which I think is an important kind of that understanding of change is a really important education as important part of your education as a citizen, so that you can understand how you can participate or voice your opinion for how you think the city should change in the future. So I would say I'm a preservationist.